All right, welcome back to another episode of the Investing with TJ show. Now, this is the part of the day. I release multiple videos a day, but this is the part of the day where I like to focus a little bit more on general news happening within equities or other markets that I find interesting and may also play a role in some of the other markets that we like to take a look at, which is precious metals, gold and silver specifically. Now, this is just some general news that I think is pretty important, given the fact that we just got the latest CPI print that came in hot. So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about some investment plays that people found popular this year, and what is becoming of them with this in the backdrop, which is Fed is expected to speed up end of bond buying and signal interest rate hikes are coming. Now, I know many of us are thinking, well, hey, this can't last forever. You know, the genie's out of the bottle, which is true, but that doesn't stop them from attempting. And we know Powell has attempted this before in the past. So this man isn't afraid. So let's get started here. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button down below. It really helps to get this channel out to more people, or it really helps to have you be brought to the fold. But right next to the subscribe button, if you hit the like button, that helps to get this out to more people. Let's get into it. In the coming week, the Federal Reserve could decide to speed up the end of its bond buying program and signal that 2022 is the year it expects to start hiking interest rates. That is already widely anticipated by investors. And for those of you who saw some of the episodes today, then you know that I had been talking about that with the rise of shorter term government debt yields rising in anticipation of this. Let's continue. Ahead of the Fed's meeting Tuesday and Wednesday, strategists don't expect much market reaction unless the central bank's messaging includes a surprise or its forecast for interest rate hikes is more aggressive than expected. So let's scroll down here. For now, a calm reaction to higher prices. So stocks rose on Friday. The three major indexes are on track for strong weekly gains of more than 3%. And investors largely shook off November's inflation print, in which the consumer price index gained 0.8% for the month and 6.8% over the previous year, the highest rate since 1982. And if we take a look at what ran up, the core CPI, which excludes food and energy prices, climbed 0.5% for the month and gained 4.9% from a year ago, the sharpest increase since 1991. Let's scroll down here. So now you have that background. Now, let's take a look at what the projections are for next week, or what we can expect from the Fed next week. The central bank is expected to release its quarterly projections for the economy, inflation, and interest rates when it releases its statement at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Powell will brief reporters at 2:30 p.m. So next week is a week to pay attention to, guys. And I think this is something that, especially for many of us who are in the gold and silver space, we really need to pay attention to, because it's going to play some bearings out, or it's going to, essentially be an additional headwind to rising prices for gold and silver. Now, when we take a look at Tesla, for example, and other high growth names, we've been seeing a lot of CEOs of these companies selling shares, selling a lot of stock. And we thought that Elon Musk was, going pretty heavy on it in the last couple of weeks. Many people thought he was done with his selling. And I actually made a video about that, and I'll probably link it at the end, about why I think he's really selling. And this has a part to do with this video, which is I think he and a lot of other CEOs are concerned with inflation, and inflation will lessen the price of shares, or it's expected to, of many of their companies. So they're taking their wins now, they're selling, and they're realizing profit. Now, as you can see here, many people were actually looking at December 9th as a pretty significant day. Elon Musk was actually asked about it recently in the CEO Council interview that he had. people were saying, hey, what's going on December 9th? And you said, well, I don't really know what's going on December 9th. I just think it's, random internet fodder. Funny enough, people were expecting good news, and he actually didn't really give good news. He actually just sold shares. But but Tesla is largely still up on the day. But if we take a look at ARK and names that are featured within the ETF, such as Tesla and others, these are a lot of growthier names here. We've been seeing a lot of depression here in the price since pretty much February of this year. Now, when I look at something like this, I think, okay, ARK Innovation ETF is essentially a composite of a lot of these growthier names, the things that we saw do really, really well in 2020. But I think the thing is right now, all of these companies are pricing in what can be expected to happen in 2022, which essentially goes back to the beginning of this video, which is the Fed and they're ending their bond buying program. Now, I know many of you are not too concerned because you're thinking, well, hey, this isn't going to be that aggressive. But the thing is, if the markets react in a particular way, yeah, their bond buying may not be that, or the end of the bond buying may not be that aggressive. But if the markets react in a particular way, then it's kind of hard to fight that. And as you can see here, ARK has the 20-day moving average cross above the 253, which is the annual, and then it just crossed right back down below, which is something similar that happened with gold. And now we're seeing it, pretty much down in the 95 level. So it's kind of struggling right now. And I think a lot of companies right now or a lot of stocks right now are kind of displaying the similar behavior. So what can we expect moving ahead? Well, I think we can expect that once we get that news that the end of the bond buying program is happening, and then even more so if we are going to expect an interest rate hike in 2022, I expect to see more red on Wall Street. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like button. And if you're new or if you're not new, let me know what you think about these talks here. When we just kind of talk about general economics, companies or things aside from gold and silver. I kind of want to expand a little bit and see what you guys think. All right. Thanks again. Have a good one.